Welcome back. It's James Black with the CSE, and today I'm joined by Brodie Gunning, who is the CEO of Energy Plug Technologies. And today we're going to learn more about the company. This is part of our Summit on Responsible Investment series, and it's also a CSE issuer update. The company does trade on the CSE under the symbol PLUG, Plug, an apt name for this company. Brodie, welcome to the show.
Hi, James. Nice to meet you. Thanks for having us today.
Our pleasure. Now, perhaps just to give everyone an update quickly, what is the company about? What are you guys working on? High level view, what is Energy Plug Technology?
Yeah, we're focused primarily on decentralized, or we call it energy technologies, but we're really focused on kind of decentralized energy, decentralized batteries for the most part. And microgrids, battery storage, energy storage is really kind of what we're doing as a company.
Right. And maybe just for those viewing who don't know more about how energy works, what does decentralized mean in this industry? What is the core concept there?
Yeah, so I mean, essentially not centralized, meaning kind of spread out in different areas, having different kind of control mechanisms or control centers versus it being a centralized control system. So the big thing that I think we're pushing is in respect to the electrical grid, how it's set up today is not conducive to AI, data centers, population growth, EV charging, et cetera. And what we're trying to do is essentially help utilities, governments, and I'd say general population embrace technology, but kind of do it in a decentralized way. Transmission lines is an example of, we're not installed 50 years ago to support the grid of today, but they're still doing that. So basically creating decentralized systems in a battery way, you can kind of place batteries in a different way to essentially create a more stable and more resilient electrical grid.
Yeah, you raise an interesting point. So you're saying that central utility providers would actually be okay about this. They'd be supportive of having this on top of whatever system they're running.
Yeah, I mean, batteries as a whole is a very complex industry. I mean, most people, I would say, know what a EV battery is. Most people have heard what a Tesla Powerwall is. But, when you talk about energy storage, it seems to be a very topic most people don't understand. If I don't have a renewable, if I don't have a solar panel or a wind turbine, how can I store energy? But from a utility perspective, they're in a very precarious situation right now because of the demand on the grid, and they need a lot of help. But in a utility world, they're very slow. So their idea of embracing technology or change is even slower. So for them, looking at what we're doing, it's very complementary to what they're doing. But for us, I'd say it's just about educating them on kind of the nuances and I guess the benefits of doing such.
Understood. So your product lines extend across residential and commercial products. Maybe just to define for us what you do to serve those two unique markets. What's different about them, and maybe what's similar between your two customer bases there that you serve through the platform?
Yeah, so we do have our products can service the residential market, but it's not an area that we're really focused on. What we kind of found when we entered this space was this market gap. There's residential batteries, which primarily is dominated by Tesla and Tesla Powerwall, and there's kind of these very large batteries that are, 5 megawatts plus, $50, $100 million projects for large scale renewable projects. But what we found was in the middle, which is kind of what we call 20 kilowatt hours to kind of 500 kilowatt hours, is underserved. And I'd say it's the most common market of blackouts, brownouts, energy challenges. A manufacturing company has peak demand power issues on a monthly basis where they're paying an extra $50, $60, $100,000. These are very strict pain points, and that's an area where we're focusing our energy right now.
So in effect, using your units will lower the energy cost for people who are, on the blockchain, minting crypto. Maybe describe to me your user base.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I've been involved in a number of ventures, but my history originally was kind of in the Bitcoin space since 2013. So I've seen this trajectory, and in early kind of 2017, 2018, we're in the mining sector. What our batteries have is what's called the energy management system, and that basically can create efficiencies in how energy is managed. And what we've kind of been doing over the past few weeks is kind of releasing some stories around our energy management system tied into our batteries to essentially create that sweet spot for AI, for heavy compute, and for crypto mining or even blockchain nodes, which has been, I'd say, a nice thing for the market to understand about what we're doing, because a lot of what we're doing is science driven, and especially battery chemistry. The market's been, I'd say, confused. But as we start to talk about crypto and real use cases of, to your point, saving energy, saving money, people start to really understand kind of what we're doing as a company.
Right. And the note of saving energy, anything you want to add or say about, sort of the public perception of crypto mining and all the energy it tends to require and maybe waste? Is this something you guys can help with in that regard?
Yeah, I mean, that's a very big question. I think that from our side, if we can put in our EMS to kind of reduce or create energy efficiencies, it does that. I mean, there's a lot of power consumption by, I would say, data centers are even more than that of Bitcoin mining. But we're seeing what the market's looking for, right? People are looking for a new approach to a currency or a new approach to value, and I think that's why you're seeing the adoption. And then on the AI side, we're seeing this growth of agents and having people in your company that don't exist, but they operate at 10 times, 100 times the efficiency an average person would. So yeah, I mean, we definitely are focused on trying to reduce costs. But that stability, and I think another one is really around the quality of power, which is very important for Bitcoin miners or AI companies, is that quality of power. Because if you're running a diesel generator, or if you're running from a particular a transmission situation, your power quality can fluctuate, and that causes a lot of challenges for miners and for AI and data centers.
Understood. Going through your materials, you did mention the importance of strategic relationships and leveraging those to grow your business. And one of those strategic groups is Indigenous groups and communities. And I'm curious to know more about how that has taken on shape and form, and what exactly that amounts to in your business.
Yeah. So last year, when we kind of started down this battery path, the what we were hearing from the markets, especially in Southeast Asia, was kind of this idea of nearshoring. And, we've seen tariffs come in now, which are, causing havoc in certain industries. But, what we wanted to do was to build a factory in Canada to essentially manufacture, assemble batteries. We met with a number of groups. We ended up meeting with a First Nation group out here in the West Coast, Malahat Nation. And we had a very similar, approach to, vision around sustainability and batteries and economic benefit. And yeah, we partnered together, and it's been the past 12 months has been absolutely insane working with those guys. Very exciting. And we've done a lot, and we kind of broke ground on a facility in June of this year. So it's been a big run for us, but very exciting. And again, it's interesting for us because a lot of people talk about reconciliation. What we hear in the Indigenous world is, let's talk about reconstruction. Like, let's build to the future, not look what happened. And I found that it's been a very just a dynamic relationship and a big eye opener for us. But honestly, it's opened up tremendous opportunities in the energy side across Canada, into the US, and also overseas. So it's very interesting for us to kind of be at the forefront of that, and we've had a lot of coverage based on that partnership.
Awesome. And is this perhaps something that could serve remote communities as well? We hear a lot of stories about how it's hard to get technology or energy or basic necessities, frankly, into some of these remote communities.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it's interesting. Like, a lot of communities around the world run on diesel generators, right? And even here in British Columbia and Ontario, I mean, it's the same thing. So what we're looking at from a battery perspective is creating kind of hybridized situations where you take a battery and you put it next to a diesel generator, and you can run kind of continuously. So these are things that we're looking at for remote communities, and it's quite exciting in terms of what we're doing. But back to my point, it's that power quality is a really big one that comes from batteries, and then again, reducing greenhouse gas emissions, et cetera.
Absolutely. Brodie, tell us just a bit about yourself. What did you do before this? You did touch on that a bit, and maybe add on to some of the team members that are part of you on this journey.
Yeah, I studied film originally, funny enough, way back in 2000, and I realized that was not my thing. I became a business guy, and I was in the digital media sector up until about 2013. I moved to Asia, spent 7 years in Asia, have always been an entrepreneur, so yeah, raised private equity, venture capital, et cetera. But in 2013, I kind of learned about crypto. 2017, I got very involved in crypto. We supplied a lot of crypto miners, FPGA, GPU, ASICs into the North American markets. And then in 2019, I got into energy infrastructure, and I saw, the onslaught of EV charging. And we were, the company I was a part of, we did quite well and deployed thousands of chargers, which gave me an insight in terms of, what was needed from a grid perspective, which kind of took me into the battery space. And yeah, some of our team members, I mean, the gentleman who's leading our factory came from Rivian and Tesla. Our VP Ops was at General Electric. He was at Blue Earth Renewables. Our CTO is absolute genius from PhD in inverters, power technologies, battery technologies. So we have a very robust team, and then a strong board of Indigenous team members, and also technologists in the battery and certification side of things. So we're quite buttoned up in respect to our business, but we definitely are trying to articulate our story so the market understands kind of where we're at and where we're going.
Yeah, I mean, as a public company CEO, I can't imagine there's any downside to you having a background in digital comms and filmmaking and storytelling, because really that is a big part of this, to be honest, is trying to get the word out about your company, what you do. On that note, before we do wind up, I just want to ask, for future updates to see what the next milestones are, where should people tune into to learn more about Energy Plug and what you guys are up to?
Yeah, our website, energyplug.com. We're trying to get releases out on a weekly basis. We do have social channels on LinkedIn and Twitter. But yeah, I think for us it's just, you're going to see engagement, you're going to see, press and some very significant partnerships that we'll be announcing amongst some of the stuff we're doing on the Indigenous side. So we'll try to be as vocal as we can and share what we can, but we encourage people to follow. And if there's any questions, speak to myself or any of our team members. We're more than happy to communicate.
That's awesome. Brodie, thanks for joining us today. And for those watching, this is, again, part of our Summit on Responsible Investment. I think this company hits a lot of the marks that we're trying to discuss through this set of features. And if you want to know more about the company, you can also go to thecsc.com, just plug in literally the word PLUG, plug, and you'll get all the information and disclosure that Brodie has alluded to. Thanks again, Brodie. Good luck with everything, and we'll talk to you very soon.
Appreciate it.